Hi everybody, Steve Griffiths here, developer of the MTPredictor software program. In today's MTPredictor video, I'd like to look at how the US E-minis unfolded yesterday, which is actually Friday, November the 6th. First, let's have a look at the ES, and as normal, I want to look at the large degree trend. If you remember, for new MTPredictor customers, we have our STF indicator, which is a trend indicator, red for down, grey or black for flat, blue for up. But as with all indicators, it's lagging. In other words, it turns a bit late. So for the more experienced MTPredictor customers, we use the higher time frame chart and our DPs. In other words, we use these because these are leading indicators. So let me show you what we do. So we normally go to a time frame between 3 and 5 time frames higher. So for example, this nice chart we're looking at here on the euro, this is a daily chart with a TS3 sell setup. Because the daily chart, we'd then go out to the weekly chart to do our resistance areas, and as we were demonstrating in a webinar a while ago, we had our DP off that prior pivot. So when I go back to the daily chart, that's, you can see, is our weekly high. Largely trend is down, therefore our TS3 sell here is in the direction of the largely trend. Therefore you'd want to take this particular short. As you can see, we're now sitting on approximately 4.2 hour profit. So that was an example on a daily and a weekly time frame. For the ES that I'm looking at here, this is a 3-minute chart, so a time frame for the largely trend would be a 15-minute. We like this because most institutional traders will look at 15-minute charts. So what do? Well, we go back to the prior swing pivots. So even before yesterday opened, we'd have gone back to that last pivot low there, which was on the day before. Can you see that? There's our pivot low. In fact, if I use our training mode and I jump back to here, that's the day before it even opened. You'd go back to this pivot low, you place your DP on, and can you see how it's on the chart in advance? It's there before Friday even opened. It's down there waiting. If I turn training mode off, you can see that the market actually opened, then declined, but when it declined, look where it made the low of the day, pretty much at our decision point support level. So what does that mean for our large degree trend on our 3-minute chart, which is the time frame we're looking to trade? Well, here you can see it even better, that's our 15-minute support zone, and as you can see, there's the low of the day coming in nicely there. Therefore, the large degree trend after this would be up. In other words, these TS1 buy setup and this TS3 buy setup would then be in the direction of the large degree trend. In other words, the large degree trend would be up. So the more experienced MTPredictor users would like to take these. Let's have a look at this first one. If we place the analysis on, you can see it got to the 100% initial risk level, didn't quite make the target, and then came back down and would just have been stopped out. So let's take a worst case scenario. It's always best to use worst case scenarios because then it doesn't inflate any potential aspirations of what software can do. So let's assume this was now stopped out for a -1 hour loss. Remember, we use correct position sizing to vary a number of lots, contracts or shares to keep our initial risk small and under control. In other words, on a sample $20,000 account risking 2%, this would have been going long 2 contracts here. So this was a -1 hour loss. We then had another TS3 buy setup here a bit later, right mouse click to analysis. This went up to the first target nicely, and this shows the power of position sizing because the profit of this first target here would have been plus 3.9R. Can I call that plus 4? Just for easy maths. I know it's not quite, but just for easy maths, can I call it plus 4? So in other words, you had a profit of plus 4R, a loss of -1R. That means a profit of plus 3R overall. So a very, very nice trade there. For you guys who are a bit more experienced on Elliott Wave, you'll know that this pattern down into here was actually a very nice ABC. If I do the right mouse click Elliott Wave Intermediate, you can do an ABC, and you guys who are experienced will know that the wave C should subdivide into a minor 5-wave sequence, and ideally the wave B should be an ABC pattern as well. So let's just go down to the 1-minute chart, because I just want to show you this for you more experienced guys, because this was actually quite nice. And here it is. Here's the 1-minute chart with our ABC pattern coming down here. If if I do right mouse click, do Elliott Wave Major, you can see that's our ABC. Can you see it? A, B, C, right into the minimum wave CWPT. But what I wanted to show you was this minor pattern in the wave C, this one coming down here. Because if I right mouse click and do Elliott Wave Intermediate, can you see how the wave C subdivided into a 5-wave sequence, and the wave B, which was here, subdivided into a nice ABC. I'll put the major swings on again, just so you can see how this all fits in. So A, B, C, wave B subdivided into a minor ABC. Wave C was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you Elliott Wave purists, this particular low that came in here at around about the 12:40 time was a lovely pattern with everything coming together quite nicely. So if I go back to the 3-minute chart, you can see this is our low here at 12:42. So for this would be a very, very nice trade setup to take. So that's why I think this one would be the better one to take, because of that minor pattern. And as you can see, the result was a nice 3.9 hour profit. For you guys who are a bit more experienced might have looked at this and said, well, actually the STF is strong, therefore you'd want to use the ATR stop to trail it. But also we had a VSA setup coming in on this particular bar here. In other words, the high volume here, as the market broke to new highs above the previous high made early in the day, came in right at DP resistance as well. Therefore you might want to have said that when the market got to this level, you'd want to trail your stop one tick below the bar lows just here, to then stop out with just over 4 hour profit. But this isn't a detailed look at this. I'll probably go into this in our MTPredictor training webinars for customers only. So for more experienced users, you might have come out at that particular level. But either way, can you see how it was a good day yesterday, where we gauged the large degree trend really nicely by using our higher time frame charts and our higher time frame DPs, which were on the chart in advance. That gauged the large degree trend to be up. If we'd had a -1 hour loss here, then our second trade would have more than made up for that by being approximately +4 hour into that level there. So very nice indeed. Other markets did exactly the same. If I go out to the 15-minute chart on the YM, there's the last pivot low. Place the DP on, there it is, support there. Let's go back to the 3-minute chart. So there's our support coming in at the low. This TS1 buy setup was in the direction of the large degree trend off that 15-minute support. Therefore you'd have liked to take this one. This was slightly better than the ES because it wasn't stopped out. You can see here we weren't actually stopped out. The market didn't get down to our stop trigger. So you would have kept on going up into this first target. Remember, large degree trend up, therefore you'd ignore this TS3. More experienced users again would have seen this VSA bar here. So you may well have wanted to tighten your stop a little bit more and come out with approximately 3.8 R. So one trade with near 3.8 R. So a nice trade on the YM. Something pretty similar on the NQ as well. You can see the 15-minute support catching the low nicely, large degree trend up. So on the main E-minis, the NQ, the YM particularly was a very good trade, and the ES, we had some very good trades yesterday, which was Friday the 6th of November. And hopefully this has been a good video to show how we use the large degree trend using our DPs on our higher time frame chart to gauge, again, the direction of the large degree trend, to then trade in that direction. We use position sizing to keep our initial risk small, so when losses come through they're kept small, and that position sizing again when the profits come through, because our profit targets are normally greater than twice our initial risk. It means our profits are large in relation to our losses. So overall we have big profits and small losses, and that's basically the foundation for a successful trading approach. So hopefully this has been a good look at how MTPredictor did on the USE minis yesterday, which was the 6th of November.